This is basically the first exhibition I've made in Turkey, which so it's exciting new place to be, and a very nice gallery. And my assistants arrived. We made the work. The work's been made over the course of the last year and a half. One or two works a little older, and my assistant John McCormack was here, worked very hard for the last few days here and did the installation. So I've just arrived, so I haven't really looked at the installation, and obviously the works, I think it's a good choice of work for a first exhibition here. Basically what it does, it shows two kinds of works, ones which we call rational beings, which are more or less like the work back here or the work here, which have a very strong formal construction which runs all the way through the work, and there are sort of certain profiles which then you can discover when you walk around them. So there are things that are maybe more or less recognizable, but as you walk around the sculpture you just are confronted with pure new sculptural forms. And and the other kind of work that is in this exhibition is what I call early forms. And these are basic things. They're something like vessels, bottles, containers, which are morphologized through space onto one another. Maybe it's a sculptural idea. It's the idea of not being interested in the things that are there, but being more interested in the things that are not there. And I think that's a good function for sculpture, because I mean, traditionally in art, there was a tendency, obviously traditionally, one copied nature or copied whatever, and maybe it was even a sort of human ambition to prove that they were as good as nature in some way in that reproduction. But I think for the last 100 years at least, I mean since the end of the 19th century, that sculpture has become a very sort of fundamental study of the material world. I mean, just finding out what things look like. And in doing that, it's not really interesting to just affirm about the things we already know. The things we know about and exist, that's fine. Sculpture is a good way of discovering forms for things that don't exist. So it's always a little challenging. It's always quite radical. It's always a little bit even disquieting, because people wonder, you know, what is it? So the first question is, what is that? You know, so it's an automatic and natural question in front of a new species of object. And I think what's great about sculpture is that it's something that's not useful. It's not utilitarian. If you look out the window, everything else is basically stuff that we need. It's our survival strategy to make clothes and buildings and furniture and cars and everything else, just to sort of, and all of that is a part of our survival strategy. It's a utilitarian use of materials. And it's very geometric and flat and rational and in fact quite boring.